Welcome to the deep dive.
Yeah.
You gave us the blueprints, the articles, the regs, the APIs.
Right.
And today, our mission is to, cut through all that vendor marketing noise.
We have to.
We're taking a really skeptical CTO-level look at bulk SMS infrastructure right here in Nairobi.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're operating in one of the most high-stakes fintech environments anywhere. When you look at the raw numbers, Kenya's got a mobile penetration rate that's, nearing 140%?
It's incredible.
With 71.4 million active SIMs as of late 2024. You just can't ignore SMS. It's a necessity.
Okay, so let's get into that. Why SMS? I mean, it feels like the oldest tech in our toolkit. We're building these slick 4G, 5G apps, but we always fall back on a simple text message. Why?
Certainty. That's the one-word answer. It's all about certainty. We can't afford to miss mission-critical stuff.
Right.
Your email open rates, they might hit 20% on a really good day. Messaging apps, they need data. They need the user to have opened it recently. But SMS,
It just works.
the data is consistent. It's a 98% open rate. Near perfect. So for an OTP, our password reset, or, and this is the big one for our market, a time-sensitive M-Pesa alert, SMS is the only thing that guarantees it gets seen, period.
Okay, let's unpack this blueprint then. Before we even dream about scaling, we have to talk about survival. And that first gap, the most critical one, is regulatory compliance.
Oh, yeah.
We're building in an environment governed by the Data Protection Act 2019, the DPA. What does that do to our architecture right out of the gate?
It immediately makes compliance a non-functional requirement, and one that needs dedicated engineering hours.
It's not just a legal problem.
No, not at all. The second you touch customer data for marketing, the DPA is in charge. You can't just use those old user flows with the pre-ticked consent boxes buried in the terms and conditions. The mandate is crystal clear, explicit, granular, opt-in.
So if your system is built on that old way of thinking, you're exposed from day one.
Completely exposed. And the risk here, for a scaling fintech, it's existential. You're looking at fines up to KES 5 million.
Or 1% of your annual turnover.
Exactly. This isn't some theoretical risk you put in a slide deck. This is a platform stability issue.
And it changes how we have to think about our API integrations, right? We can't just upload a CSV and hit send.
With TANT, your whole system has to have opt-out mechanisms baked in. Every single message has to have a clear way out, like the classic SLP keyword reply. And you need to be damn sure that your SMS aggregator, your Cellcom Africa, your Africa's Talking, is handling that in real time.
Yeah.
Because the liability, it's on us.
Let's define that landscape. As a fintech, we're not going directly to Safaricom or Airtel. That would be a nightmare.
Oh, way too slow, way too complex. You use an aggregator. They have the licenses, the direct high-volume connections, the SMS gateway software. They handle that initial mess. But you have to vet them on their DPA handling, not just their price per SMS.
And a huge part of that is trust, which brings us to sender IDs, a technical and a financial barrier.
A big one. And you can't skip it. That custom sender ID, just 11 alphanumeric characters, that's your brand. That's what signals trust. An M-Pesa alert from a random short code looks like a scam.
But if it comes from FinTech X...
The user trusts it, they take action, it's that simple.
So what's the real cost here? The real complexity?
The complexity is mostly administrative, which, is the most frustrating kind for engineers. You're talking about high one-time setup fees that have to be in your initial budget.
Right.
Getting that all-network sender ID, which you absolutely need for reliable routing across Safaricom, Airtel, and Telcom, can be upwards of 20,000 KES. If you try to save money and just get the Safaricom one for 7,500.
You've instantly cut off a huge chunk of your potential user base.
Instantly. It's a fee for regulatory permission, really, as much as it is for branding. It's the cost of entry.
And that compliance. It goes beyond just who we are. It dictates when we can even talk to our users. Let's talk about the KK constraints.
Yeah, the Communications Authority of Kenya. This is a huge one for any marketing campaign. They have a strict guideline. No promotional SMS between 7 p.m. and 7 a.m.
So that brilliant flash sale idea you have at 7:01 p.m., dead in the water. You've lost a whole night of engagement.
Unless, and this is the critical part for operational messages, unless the customer initiated the request or gave you specific consent, a transaction alert is fine. A suspicious login attempt at 10 p.m., that's okay.
But a promo for a new loan product?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
So your system needs time gating logic built in, and it has to know the difference between message types.
So comply or die. That's the foundation. Okay, let's shift from survival to scale. You see these crazy low rates. Cellcom offering KES 0.25 per SMS. It's tempting, but that leads you right into the reseller trap.
That's it. The reseller trap is when you sacrifice your long-term technical health for short-term OpEx savings. You need a platform, not just a cheap pipe.
So what's the minimum technical requirement for a fintech that's actually trying to scale?
Robust API integration. Number one, you can't be messing around with clunky single message APIs. You need proper HTTP REST protocols that can handle bursts. You need to be able to fire off 10,000, 100,000 messages in one asynchronous API call. Fire and forget.
And you need reliability. You have to demand proof of, 95% plus delivery rates?
At least. And that has to be backed by solid local routing across all three main carriers. Anything less is just lost messages and angry customers.
This brings us to that core architectural choice. Do you build your own custom integration software, which is slow and expensive, or do you grab a ready-made white label platform from an aggregator?
The white label route is so tempting. It dramatically lowers your upfront cost and your time to market. You slap your logo on it, brand it, and you're live. It feels like the pragmatic choice.
Okay, but let's not just gloss over the tech debt there. As a CTO, you have to be thinking about vendor lock-in. You gain speed, but what are you giving up?
That's the million-shilling question, isn't it? You give up granular control, you're locked into their API structure. So if you want some special feature like custom failover logic or regional throttling, you might be out of luck.
And if they have a major outage or their pricing changes?
You're stuck, migrating millions of customer records and rewriting all your core integrations to a new vendor. That's a nightmare scenario.
So the white label platform is really a tactical move. It offloads the immediate pain of telco integration so your team can focus on the product. But you have to vet that platform for a clear exit strategy.
It's a calculated risk, but often it's the one you have to take to get moving fast. Which, of course, leads us right into the next major headache, the localization gap.
Right. This is the messy reality. We're trying to communicate in Kenya's incredibly diverse linguistic landscape. We want that high-value personalization. We want to send campaigns in Kiswahili and Shen's. But our default tech choice just fails us.
It fails immediately. The cheap standard option is GSM 7-bit encoding. It's efficient, sure. You get 160 characters per SMS credit, but it's terrible with non-Latin characters. You send a beautiful message in Kiswahili and it shows up as a bunch of question marks.
It looks unprofessional. It breaks trust.
Completely. So to do this properly for any real multilingual support, you're forced into Unicode, specifically UCS2 encoding.
And this isn't just flipping a switch in a config file. This has major financial implications.
Huge. The second you switch to UCS2, your effective message length per credit gets cut in half. Or worse, instead of 160 characters, you might only get 70.
Hold on, let's make sure everyone gets this. You're paying the same KES 0.25 per message slot, but because you basically halved the character limit, you've just doubled the cost of your multilingual campaigns.
That's the trade-off. That's the conversation you have to have with the CFO. You're paying a 100% premium for effective communication, but the alternative is sending junk that nobody connects with.
And the tech debt is real. You have to implement and test that UCS2 encoding works perfectly across Safaricom, Airtel, and Telcom, all while you're still stuck with that 11-character sender ID. It's a constant balancing act.
It is. And it's why you see providers like Advanta Africa specifically marketing language-specific SMS support. It's a value add because it's genuinely hard to get right.
Which brings us to the final piece of the puzzle. Proving it was all worth it. Proving ROI. That 98% open rate is a vanity metric if it doesn't lead to a conversion.
Exactly. We need advanced conversion attribution, especially for M-Pesa notifications where you need the user to do something right now.
You have to get past the simple delivered report on the aggregator's dashboard.
We have to. The solution is discipline, technical execution. It's all about UTM parameter execution with custom short links.
Okay, walk us through it, the exact mechanism. This is how you tune a cost center into a revenue driver.
It starts with the short link. Character count is money, so you can't paste a long tracking URL in an SMS. You need your provider, someone like SMS Leopard, for instance, to generate a custom short link for you. That little link is your tracking gateway.
So the aggregator shortens the URL, saving characters and money. What about the attribution?
That's where you append the UTM parameters to the destination URL, the URL that the short link redirects to. So if you send an M-Pesa loan confirmation and the link is for the user to log in and see their new balance, that link has to have tags on it.
Give me an example. What does that tag look like?
It would redirect to something like our app URL, followed by UTM source, SM alert and UTM campaign, mpethalo and confirmation. And here's the crucial part, NUTM aggregator, Cellcom. You have to tag which aggregator sent it.
Ah, that's the key. So when the user clicks, our Google Analytics, Mixpanel, whatever, can track that conversion all the way back to the specific campaign.
And the specific SMS aggregator that sent it.
So you're not just comparing providers on price anymore.
No, you're comparing them on actual business outcomes. You're A/B testing your infrastructure providers. This is exactly how you get those case studies, like that Kisumu retailer who increased conversions by 10%. They did it with this kind of precision tracking. If you're not using UTMs, you are flying completely blind.
It connects the digital click to the real-world M-Pesa transaction. That is the discipline you need to have in this market.
Absolutely. No margin for error.
So let's synthesize this for you. Getting bulk SMS right in Kenya, it really hinges on this technical trifecta.
First, there's the stringent ASAC and DPA compliance. It's mandatory architecture. You need the opt-outs, you need the expensive sender IDs.
Second, you need robust scalability. And that means, accepting the trade-offs of a white label platform so you can leverage those high-volume APIs.
And finally, you have to have granular real-world attribution. Use short links, use UTMs, improve your ROI, especially for those critical M-Pesa use cases.
It's complex, it's expensive, but it's the absolute backbone of success here.
It is.
So we'll leave you with this final thought, one that kind of builds on this tension between our tech capabilities and compliance. If mobile penetration is pushing 140%, and our ability to automate location-aware, multilingual SMS is getting so hyper-personalized.
Yeah.
How far does the Data Protection Commission have to expand the definition of explicit consent to keep up with us?
Our ability to target is already outstripping the legal framework that's meant to contain it.
Indeed. We'll catch you on the next Deep Dive.